Good afternoon, Coach. Good to see you.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to HSBN Media Days. Coach, introduce yourself and the players you have here today.
Yes, my name's Ernie Gonzalez. I was born and raised in Miami, South Florida boy. Been playing sports and baseball here for 40 years. To my right is Julian Irizarry. He's a senior outfielder, second base, committed to Pitt University. Then to my left is our ace, our pitcher, our number one pitcher, Colin Cartagena. He's committed to University of North Florida.
Excellent. So, Coach, your team went to states last year. How much momentum is carrying over from that season into this one?
Well, momentum carrying over, that's a good question. We had a great end of our season last year. We really put it together, a couple weeks before playoffs started, and then the momentum kept going. Our bats were hot, our pitching was doing great, and it was fun to be a part of that. Exhausting but fun. So the momentum carrying over this year, the returners obviously are hungry. The returners are hungry to get back there, and so am I, and so is everybody that's part of our school. But we understand how hard and how difficult it was to get there, so we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves. We're just going to take it one game, one pitch at a time and enjoy it. Because I tell these guys all the time in practice when we start or before a game, they got 3.5, 4 months of high school left, so they got to enjoy their time out here every single day, whether it's one of our 3-hour Saturday practices or a kind of slower bunt defense first and third practice. They got to be focused and locked in every day because their time's coming up. This is should be the funnest time of their life playing high school baseball, and I want them to enjoy it and not worry about so much getting back to states or getting a championship. We're just going to worry about one day at a time.
And returning, you have 8 guys returning from last year, including the 2 in front of me. From the player perspective, tell me what it's like. I mean, you went to states last year to carry that for this year for your success.
Yeah, I think it was a big accomplishment for Westminster Academy, our school community, and our baseball program, obviously. But Westminster Academy hadn't been to states since the early 2000s, since Coach Rich Hoffman took him there in, I believe, 2001, and he won 2 straight state championships in 1999 and 2000. So I'm really proud and honored to take our team back there, and the support I received from the school and old alumni coming back that were reaching out to me and our players and through social media, and really proud of Westminster Academy coming back. And this is just, it goes out to the former coaches, the former coaches that were there, the former players. We have a beautiful school, beautiful facility. I think our baseball program is second to none. We do have a small school, so young guys are going to play right away because our high school is a little bit small. But I wouldn't want it any other way.
And from the players, let's hear from you what it's like.
You got it.
Oh, go ahead. You want to go?
Yeah, we lost a lot of pieces last year, crucial pieces, but we're not going to let that affect us. We're just going to keep working with what we got, and we brought in a good freshman class who's going to be a huge factor to our season this year. And obviously, we're a little low on pitching staff, but we have some solid guys still, including myself. And then from a lineup perspective, we're still very well-rounded with Julian leading us off.
Yeah, I feel like our hitters are a lot better this year. We did lose a couple hitters last year that were really good for us, but I feel like especially our freshman class and our sophomore class is really good because they all got a year older from last year. And we're still a pretty young team. We do have a lot of seniors that are signed, like about 5, but still we're a really young team. So if they just need to step up, and when they step up, it'll be good.
Are you players explaining to the younger players what that tastes like to be at states and that?
Yep.
Yeah, and some of them were there in that state championship, so right. And they knew the result of losing sucked, and we just don't want that to happen again.
So the Lions have great tradition, obviously 8-time district champion, 23 regional champion. Coach, every team, every player, every coach depends on a positive team chemistry and the effect it has on a successful season. Can you say a few words about the makeup of your 2024 Lions team in terms of chemistry on and off the field?
Yes, I think that's important. I think the first couple of years I was at WA was kind of rebuilding, with a lot of players that were there with the former coaching staff that took off, and I wouldn't, like I told you earlier in the interview, I wouldn't want it any other way. And I think these guys now that Julian came in sophomore year from another school, Colin came in the same time he did, and they've been performing so well for 2 years, and that leadership, on the field and then off the field at school, they show up every day to class on time. We have no kids in our program that are homeschooled or kind of just show up to the field and play, which is big. And these guys are great. They participate in every pep rally, at school. They lead prayer worship in chapels at WA. So I'm really proud of them. And this year, you know, a lot different than last year with a little bit of, not a little bit, but we have a lot better team chemistry. Not to say that we didn't have it last year. It kind of clicked in the middle of the year towards the end, but we have that from the fall all the way this year, and I think it's going to carry us because we are, you know, baseball's a game of failure. We are going to go through some tough times because we have a tough schedule, and these guys need to make sure that the young guys and the sophomores that we have and the juniors, they stay positive because they know we've always played a tough schedule since Julian and Colin were here, and they never shied away from big moments, and they've come through in that, and that's helped our program. So they got to make sure that the underclassmen are stay positive and stay the course.
So you've got a good returning lineup with Julian going to Pitt, Colin going to UNF. With these returning players, taking into account the makeup of this year's teams in terms of experience, power, your base running ability, defense, and pitching, what do you think your approach will be, your philosophy on the field to produce a winning season? Is it your strength, defense, is it pitching, or all the above?
I think the key word that me and the coaching staff have thought of this year since we started playing together in the fall is balance. I think we're more balanced, you know, 1 through 9, 1 through 10, 11 in our team. Colin obviously is a great pitcher. He fills it up throwing strikes, barely walks anybody. We have another good pitcher that was at our school. He left and now he came back for his junior year. Jake Weiss throws a lot of strikes too. So we kind of lost a little bit of that velo craze with a couple guys that transferred out, but we gained a couple guys that throw a lot of strikes. There's also a really good freshman little pitcher we have, Ryan Dejnak, who's coming along really well. Grayson Clapman, a sophomore that's pitching well. We also and then we also have our two-way seniors, which are JC Hernandez, who's a big-time bat waiting to fill into his potential. He's going to Nova Southeastern and he can pitch a little bit. And then Luke Denstead, our only senior that's unsigned, but I'm praying for that he can get some offers and looked at, you know, as soon as the season starts. He's a two-way guy. He plays middle infield and center field. So we're expecting Luke to have a big year too. And that's about it. You know, we're excited. I think we're really balanced, way more balanced throughout our varsity team than we were last year.
And from the players, did you have any advice for younger guys that are looking to get recruited?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a long process for sure. And it does suck sometimes because I feel like coaches, I mean, they sometimes just don't, like, their process is kind of like they talk to you for like months and then they just never really kind of offer you, and they never really pull the strings to offer you. So it's long and it sucks because sometimes like they lead you on and then they just don't, and they kind of ghost you. But it's a long process, but you just have to trust it. You really have to trust the process, and it's going to be long, but as long as you trust, you'll be fine.
And don't give up?
Don't give up at all. You got to keep going.
Yeah, patience is key.
Yeah.
I was talking to schools, a bunch of schools, and then finally committed in November. It was not like for sure I was going there, or I was still waiting for them to offer me, but jumped on it.
Well, again, just don't give up. There's pressure, but you can do it, so just keep at it.
Yeah, these guys, they have to use all their resources possible. Use their, you know, they play on a good travel organization. They used me too. I remember, you know, talking to their coaches and texting them at Pitt and then at UNF, you know, and they got to use all their resources. Their parents are smarter now. They can send emails themselves and put stuff on social media and videos together. You know, use the high school coach, you know, use the travel ball coach or recruiting service. So put all those, takes a village, you know, put all those resources together and like Julian said, trust the process, because like he said, some of these, nobody has an answer, you know, not even the head coach for a college, you know, and they just got to trust the process and pray, and hopefully, you know, the young guys will perform and they'll get noticed.
Yeah. So Coach, sum it up for us. What can we expect from Westminster Academy this season?
You can expect a disciplined team, a team that never gives up. We're going to fight to the last out. We just had our 2 preseason games, which are playoff atmosphere rivalry games, you know, against Pinecrest and against Calvary, and they were tight games all the way to the end. And I'm looking forward to having a great season. It's going to be different than last year because like we lost some good pieces. We lost a couple of Division I players, and I know that other schools are gunning for us now that we're back to solidify as, you know, a good baseball program. Not to say that the former coaches or anybody wasn't doing that before, but I'm excited. I'm excited with our schedule. You know, we play Stoneman Douglas, we play McCarthy, we play Flanagan, we play U School, a lot of good competition, you know, throughout the months of our season, and I'm looking for these guys to lead as well as everybody else, you know, and we're never going to give up. We're going to fight till that last out, you know, even if we're down or up, you know, we're never going to give up. And I think if we just enjoy the process, come ready to practice every day, have fun, and one of our coaches, Coach Mark Klein, he's been coaching for about how long? 75 years here.
Longer than.
And he could be my dad, and he preaches every single practice attention to detail. When we practice, not going through the motions, you know, not going through the motions in practice, which happens with a lot of high school kids. Had long nights of a 4-hour game the day before, a long day at school of 7-8 hours at school, and then we got to practice for another 2 or 3 hours. It's a grind. So that's what we need to focus on this year, just staying the course and not giving up like we did last year and like we've always done. And we've won 4 straight district titles after COVID. And last year we got to states. We had a huge win against Miami Christian at Miami Christian. And I'm sure they're going to be ready to play us this year if we match up. But not only Miami Christian, there's also other teams that are in our classification. True North with Coach Nieto down in Miami, John Carroll, you know, Sagemont is doing a good job with Coach Stetner there. So we have a lot of respect for all these other schools that are going to be ready to play us, and we're ready for that challenge.
All right, great. Well, thanks for being here today. The best of luck to you guys for the season, and we'll see you on the field soon. Thanks.